Guys, welcome back to Galaxy Battle.
10 seconds
I don't know what the hell
remaining.
just happened. We were supposed to start in 30 minutes. The
5
admin said we're
seconds
starting in 30
remaining.
minutes, and then they just went. So that's why we're kind of getting in here a little bit late. But we're here. I don't know why we started. I wasn't watching the chat. I mean, you say we're gonna start in 30 minutes. I'm not gonna
Dire
just
team
sit there and
back.
stare at the Dota screen, you know. But either way, we're here. We got Stars going up against
Radiant's
Midas
team
Club
back.
Victory. It's gonna be the lower bracket match from Group B. But we had a much better display of gameplay from both Midas Club Victory and Stars than in the
Dire
previous
team
lower
back.
bracket game. Winner of this has to face up against Sacred. Stars already lost to Sacred, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Midas Club haven't played against them. They haven't played against them yet, but Midas Club did lose to Stars 2-0 in the first round.
Radiant
And of course,
team
loser
back.
is out on Mike Lewis, going to be your caster for this game. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are just like, why the hell? Did the timer just disappear when we're in this game? I don't know, man.
Dire team
I was going to eat food and stuff like that, but I guess I can't do that. We got Clockwork Disruptor, the picks for the Midas Club Victory side. On the other end, Star is going to go for an Nature's Prophet along with the Winter Wyvern. So pretty interesting as an opening here for the Stars side. Nature's Prophet as a first pick, not really something that a lot of teams are going to be super eager to do, especially up against a Clockwork and Disruptor. I mean, they only knew about the Clockwork, but even they did know about both, actually. I'm sorry.
Remaining.
They knew about both of these heroes. Clockwork much better about dealing
5
with Nature's
seconds
Prophet than
remaining.
Disruptor. Still going for Nature's Prophet in this context. Fairly bold here from the Stars side. And Winter Wyvern is whatever. She's a pretty premium support hero. As far as the team fight is concerned, he can certainly do a lot worse. Tidehunter the pick now for Midas Club. Together with a Disruptor is a hell of a lot of team fight available for the Midas Club side. Initiation from the Clockwork, it's all pretty much well and good. This is going to force the Clockwork, of course, into that forward position. Tidehunter should be taking towards the off lane. And if there is an offensive tri-lane or anything like that from Stars, then Nature's Prophet versus Tidehunter is definitely a lineup for Tidehunter where he's going to feel very comfortable. Since we got here in a little bit, let's take a quick sweep over the bans. That is a Darkseer ban. What year is it? Is it still 2017? Did I fall into a wormhole? Check my date on the computer. No, it is still 2017. I don't know when we're ever going to see a Darkseer first picked. We saw a Darkseer the other day. It did very poorly. But either way, the bans are looking more or less pretty normal. A little bit of mid lane hate here as well. Medusa and Storm Spirit. We'll see.
10
As
seconds
Soothes did
remaining.
play some pretty mean Storm Spirit in the previous match I was talking about earlier. Stars versus
5
Sacred.
seconds
I guess
remaining.
yesterday's match. Stars will get their secondary support hero. It's a Rubik. And this is going to be a pretty nice hero to have up against the Tide, up against the Disruptor. Again, you get those really, really high value spells to steal. And that's all well and good, but this is not going to be necessarily for free. There is certainly some cost here in that Rubik and Winter Wyvern is kind of a lightweight support duo. They do have a decent amount of control, and now especially up against a Sven, Winter Wyvern's feeling pretty good about her position in this game. But as far as roaming around two other lanes, setting up kills, Rubik can do it somewhat. Winter Wyvern sometimes, I guess, but overall these two aren't going to be the most aggressive. Compare that
10
to other four
seconds
positions
remaining.
that are still in the pool. Spirit Breaker probably being the
5
biggest one
seconds
left.
remaining.
Slardar still in. I don't know how good Winter Wyvern Slardar is up against a Tidehunter, though. I mean, yeah, maybe they just had to go for something like this, but still not going to have that very, at least nowadays, traditional four-position hero. And go in for the older school, even older school, that's double supports. Just have two supports. Matchup-wise, they're in a pretty good spot. Again, Rubik has some pretty good spells to steal. Winter Wyvern is an absolutely premium hero versus Sven. Yeah, mostly physical damage-based hero. Get that curse to on one of Sven's allies with Sven in it, and that ally is super dead. Of course, if Sven is going to jump in towards your Nature's Prophet, let's say, with God Strength, if you are quick enough, you
Dire
can
team
save him.
back.
At least for a couple seconds. Star's now going to go Ursa. Interesting stuff here. We haven't really seen that much Ursa as of late. Is a pretty powerful hero, but of course needs to needs the right circumstances to really be powerful. Is this
10
one of those
seconds
circumstances?
remaining.
I'm not entirely sure. With an Nature's Prophet, they can kind of run any carry
5
because they will have
seconds
just,
remaining.
a pretty safe off lane, despite the fact that he's all going up against pretty bad matchups in Sven, Clockwork, and the Disruptor. The Ursa, though, is going to be a little bit of a safeguard for mid lanes. You do have some mid lane heroes that just get absolutely stomped by an Ursa, and it's going to kind of essentially ban out a couple of Midas Club's options. And that being said, really good partner with the Rubik and the Winter Wyvern in lane. As far as killing off a Tidehunter is concerned, Ursa will get hit pretty hard by that Anchor Smash, but with the Fury Swipes damage and the Overpower, the fact that you can apply so many hits so quickly in the duration of the Telekinesis usually works out pretty well for the Ursa, if, again, that is going to be, in fact, the lane matchup. Alternatively, going up against Sven, well, I mean, Sven can challenge the Ursa pretty well in the late game. Once he does get that additional damage up just from items. Early on, though, Ursa should have an advantage. Tough going up against Warcry for sure, especially since Diffusal Blade no longer purges, so there's really no way to get rid of that on the enemy, unless you want to... No, that doesn't work. There's really no way of getting rid of that, actually. So yeah, that's a little bit tough. We'll see. Viper and Mirana both going to get the boots out. Let's see. What mid laners do we still have? Well, it looks like I don't have to speculate too much. It's a Shadow Fiend for the Stars side. Interesting picks. And I'm not really sure how much I like this. Again, just looking at the Midas Club side, they have a lot of team fight, a lot of initiation. And Shadow Fiend with the BKB is kind of okay tanking that. With the BKB, of course. If he doesn't have a BKB, if he's caught with the Ravage or he's hookshot, he's just dead. I mean, you do have some ways of saving him, but overall, I'm not sure if Stars have enough of a real front line to protect the Shadow Fiend. Midas Club have so many ways to just bypass everything, get onto the Shadow Fiend. Just the Ravage range in general is going to be really hard for the SF to play around, so certainly a heavy risk hero here for the Stars side. As far as bad matchups are concerned, yeah, Shadow Fiend probably has some bad matchups, but overall, like Queen of Pain is already banned out, Puck is already banned out. The mid lane, I guess you can TA if you're a Midas Club, and that will be a pretty good matchup there. You could Tinker, and that'll be a pretty good matchup. And Midas Club so far have seemed like they have, except for this Tidehunter, mostly been on the responsive side of picks. Like Stars, they wanted these heroes. You don't pick up an Ursa if you don't just want him for no other reason than it's an Ursa. But picking up a Sven, great up against Nature's Prophet, obviously. Decent up against the Ursa in the later stages. You can kind of man-fight him decently. Now's a chance to see what kind of plan they're working with, because outside of just good amount of team fight, they are lacking that space creation factor. Tidehunter is really good sometimes when he has Ravage. You do need a little bit of a space creator when you're working with the Sven. You don't really want to have the Sven be constantly ganked up, because you can't apply the pressure back. You need that Sven to be farming. Death Prophet is a decent hero doing that. That is not a Death Prophet. That's Pugna. The pick for Midas Club, I'm not really sure. Pugna doesn't really fit great into their draft. I mean, it's a pretty decent hero as far as what arms can do. We saw him play really good Pugna yesterday. Decrepify is really good against Ursa, and again, there's no way to get those purges off, so that's kind of good. But outside of that, like, are they really planning on pushing? To some extent, they can force objectives once they do have the Ravage with the Blast, and we'll be able to get something out of that. But at the same time, is that really the enough pressure? If you're not going to win those team fights, if you're going to be on the short end of the stick, then Sven may not get enough time to farm. It's definitely a risky one here for the Dire side. The Radiant, with a good amount of risk as well, carrying the Shadow Fiend pick, and Ursa, again, has some difficulties in this game. But we'll see. I do think, from what I've seen, just pure matchup-wise, pure skill-wise, Stars should have it like 60-40, maybe 65-35, just slightly edging over Midas. But we'll see, as anything can happen in these lanes, especially since Stars have, again, a really kind of a light set of support heroes. They're going to give Lil King the Winter Wyvern, got Soothes on the mid Shadow Fiend. Sherlock the Ursa, got Nedbone on the Rubik, and Jupiter is playing the Nature's Prophet. On the other end, RZS on the Disruptor. Dashka is playing the Clockwork. Goto is going to be playing his go-to carry. It's the Sven. That was terrible, I'm sorry. We got Arms on Pugna and up towards top lane. Samurai is on the Tidehunter. Hell of a lot of regen. 10 tangos, 1 salve. The thing is, I mean, that's kind of nice to survive. But slow overtime regen, I'm not really sure if that's really going to keep you alive versus Ursa. Ursa's not really the chipping type hero. He will go in and straight kill you. even if you do regenerate, like, you gotta back off and actually wait for that regeneration to take effect because of the nature of Fury Swipes. I bit myself earlier and my tongue really hurts. You guys have no idea. I'm sure you've all bit yourself before. But you haven't casted a game after that. It's really freaking annoying. Trust me on that one. Ugh. Either way, it looks like Nature's Prophet will take to the safe lane. Offensive tri-lane is here for Midas. And they're getting their matchup that they want. Ursa going up against that Tidehunter is again quite nice for the Fury swiping hero. They may want to instead apply pressure to the Sven. Maybe they can swap these lanes, but Nature's Prophet versus Sven, Nature's Prophet versus Tide, both matchups are about as bad. I mean, you're not going to get a hugely advantageous matchup from either of those. Decrepify and Shadow Fiend, that lasted a long time, but still the right clicks onto Arms. Just from Nedbone, just from Soothes with no souls. Does stack up quite a bit of damage. How did Shadow Fiend not get that CS? That looked so easy to... It looked like he got it, but he just didn't get it. Whatever. Soothes will definitely get some CS. There we go. We've got to keep an eye on Jupiter on this bottom lane. A Stormhammer into a couple of right clicks. Probably not a threat just yet. As long as he has these treants scouting out the Clockwork's positioning, Jupiter should be fine. And as long as there's no kinetic field, he should, again, be fine. But at a certain point, once those level 2s comes up, it'll be a little bit more difficult. Speaking of difficult, Arm's going to get shoved out of lane one more time. Telekinesis used to drag him to the low ground. He will salve up, and Pugna is quick. Even faster without boots than Rubik is with. We'll be just fine. Up towards top lane in the meantime. Samurai's got to be very careful here. Burn has a very long cooldown, so Winter Wyvern is going to have to be very bursty when they go for these kills. But here we go. There's the attempt. Anchor Smash already landed. They do have the burn, and it is stacking up with those Fury swipes as well. One more swipe. Fury swipe is going to get Sherlock first blood, and that's just the threat. Oh, speaking of threat, he didn't even try to kill the courier. Okay. Dashka just going to wander on through. He's not going to have a great time here. He's going to get lifted up with the full creep wave. He's going to get a TP out. The right clicks are not enough. Oh, the raise. I don't think the raise hit. It was just a split second off. That otherwise would have been a kill. Only one level of that raise, obviously, but still, he was very, very low. Still, it's not really going to bother them too much. They'll go back to the bottom lane where, you know, GoTo is still just farming. Jupiter is going to try to get some farm. Oh, they got the curse knife, Ned! I completely missed that one, guys. I apologize. But ultimately, Star's Courier in trouble will survive the Clockwork, but the Dire Courier, Midas's Courier, will not. This is looking a pretty decent start here for Stars. Jupiter is going to get jumped on. Glimpse is going to bring him back a little bit, actually quite a bit. He doesn't have a Sprout. He is just going to get right-click down. Thunderstrike will get the kill. Dead here a little bit too late, but at the same time, top lane. Anchor Smash available for the Tidehunter. Is not using it, and he's going to take a lot of damage here. Earthshock is just cutting through this watermelon, and one more swipe. Nope, not quite. He is going to salve up there. Has no TP, though, so I'm not really sure how he's going to get out of this one. Earthshock being used to kill off that Tidehunter. That's the kind of counterplay versus that Anchor Smash. I mean, obviously you can overpower your way through Anchor Smash, both figuratively and literally. Oh, Dashka. Is there any mana here on Soothes? No, not quite. Dashka is in a pretty precarious position, but he should be able to TP out. He'll be fine. Going in deep for that SF, though. But still, Tidehunter up against that just very low cooldown magic nuke of Earthshock. It's not really the best nuke in the world, but hey, when you can land that many on a hero that's taking as well Arctic Burn shots, it'll definitely work out. Arms, Splinter Blast. It's going to land, but it won't do that much. Yeah, it's really the fact that Tide has a lot of HP and is just really tanky, which means that the Winter Wyvern Burn is just going to cut right through him. Pretty nice matchups there. Also, Anchor's Kraken Shell. Well, it's level 2 at this point, but was only 1 at the time. Making a little bit of a swap up. Jupiter showed up on the top lane for a little while, not really doing all that much. Tidehunter still getting his experience on the top lane. CS-wise, obviously not doing great up against the Ursa, but doing a decent job so far. Jupiter still is struggling on this bottom lane. Sven, saw GoTo play Sven the other day, was absolutely vicious. And, well, speaking of vicious, Soothes is giving a little bit of trouble here. There is a Winter Wyvern right around the corner. She can fly down. has enough mana for only one spell right now, is going to go ahead and do it. 2 raises land onto arms, lots of damage. 3rd raise as well as the burn. One more right click is snuck in. They get the kill on the Pugna and should be able to bag Dashka as well. With a TP in, Jupiter is looking for a 3rd RZS. Not quite body blocked by the little trees, but still a TP in from the Nature's Prophet, perhaps a little bit late and wasted for this hero. But a great turnaround there as the Pugna definitely overplayed his hand. As much damage as you can do as a Pugna, it is going to be very heavily blocked by that raindrop. You can see that the Decrepify Blast did a whole lot of nothing versus Soothes. And of course, Soothes can do just as much magic damage, if not even more. Plus, he has the physical backup of 29 souls now from the Necromastery. And the Shadow Fiend is going to get a really nice turnaround off of that one. This mid lane is doing fairly well for the Radiant. The top lane is obviously winning. They have yet to deal with the Sven. No one really can do so easily. Their mid-late game answers to the Sven are not terrible. Mostly in this Winter Wyvern. And Lil's being a pretty good 4-position Winter Wyvern, I guess we can call it. I'm not really sure who is 4 position and who is 5 position here, like in quotation marks. Yeah, it's pretty close going either way, but honestly doesn't matter. Both of them are making some pretty good rotations. This is really the struggle of Pugna. Why I wasn't really a huge fan of this pick to seal up the Midas Club side. With the Pugna's behind, the way he gets ahead is by kind of sneaking towers. But you don't really want to sneak towers when you're actively looking to buy time for the Sven. You want to be a little bit more direct in your approach. Goto is going to be able to chop his way out, but gets lifted back into an Ursa. He does have his ultimate right now. The damage, is it going to be good enough? Yes, it will be. Just barely with that last swipe. Nedbone sneaks in a right click actually to get the last hit. Mass TPs to kill off the Sven. Call it an overcommitment. I call it a hero that needs to die, that's going down. And Stars are, well, in a little bit of trouble with Soothes actually. Only has 1 raindrop. Dashka has Invis, and he has him captured. Soothes will be able to land 1 raise here, but no, is it going to be enough? Those right clicks do a lot. He can't raise actually, can't even get a single one out. I thought you could get 1 raise out, but none. Ravage gonna land onto 3. Not gonna save RZS though. The right clicks from Ursa too severe. Now using the phase boost to chase forward for Samurai. Overpower once again being used. They lift up the Tidehunter, drag him back in. Sven's going to arrive. Is gonna Warcry strike in. The Splinter Blast does seal the deal on the Tidehunter. But the hammer coming in with the Pugna as well. They'll kill off the Ursa on the retreat, and now it's Ned and Lil both in a precarious position. But no, there's no cancels for this. They already used the Glimpse. Lil is pretty boned though. Ripperino, Winter Wyvern, you're dead. Quick, use your gold. There you go. Bought a magic wand, bought a TP. Taking forever to kill off that Winter Wyvern. That's only a level 2 battery assault. Level 3 clockwork is very low. But at any rate, still going to be a pretty decent turnaround for Midas. Killing off that Ursa is big game. The Ursa is still being very active around the map. Sherlock and Soothes as well. Doubling up on the infused raindrop. Really, really nice item when the main damage threat is the enemy Pugna. And I think if he just sat there and right-clicked the clockwork instead of trying to get the raise out, level 7 Shadow Fiend with souls would just demolish a level 3 clockwork every day of the week. Both sides. No regen rune, but Arms in a little bit of trouble here. 1 raise, 2 raise to land. He will Decrepify and Life Drain. 3 raise, though, will get the kill. That magic amplification stacking up. Now the Sprout onto RZS. Wrath of Nature gonna bounce through. Won't do much against the Raindrop. But Raindrop is not protecting against physical right click. We'll just bash him down with Soothes. Jupiter will TP out. Battery Assault will cancel the TP out. And then just Prophet. Bumped back by the Cog. Gonna deplete his Sprout mana pool, but jukes around the trees. He is going to buy a little bit extra time so that his teammates can right click Samurai. 1 more shot. Not quite gonna do it. Anchor Smash. He's going to not get it. Oh, it's so close. Jupiter is gonna taunt his way out. And you know what? I think he deserves that taunt escape. Because that juke, that small narrow juke around the trees, bought him just enough time for Soothes and Nedbone to right click in. And again, this Shadow Fiend, not with many ways to actually get a front line so that he can hide and right click. But if no one's attacking him, doesn't matter. Double raise, immediately gets a kill. Now he's gonna get drained out though. 5 stick charges shouldn't save him here. Actually it will. That drain, I thought it would do a little more damage. Soothes will get away. 5-1-1. This SF is dishing. He's got an item coming out in the courier as well. Power Treads? That's just Power Treads. Nothing too crazy. It's only 9 minutes in. But still, he's got PTs. He's got maxed out souls, which is perhaps the biggest deal there. Ring of Aquila, as well as the fact that, hey, he's got maxed out Soul and maxed out Raise. As long as he's able to keep his distance, as long as they're not literally on top of the Shadow Fiend, he will be dropping some serious bombs. And speaking of serious bombs, we're going to go towards top lane now as Sherlock, Jupiter, and Lil going to start teaming up on this tower. Should be a pretty easy one to put in the bag. Arms is going to get lifted up. 1 Raise, 2 Raise, not quite 3, but can they right-click him down? Oh, those right clicks. Pugna is going to Decrepify, Drain. There's 1 more Raise, though, to seal the deal. Yeah, in case you guys aren't aware, Shadow Fiend's raises do kind of like snowball out of control when you land them in succession nowadays. I think that's probably the best way of putting it. They just increase in damage as you combo them. Pretty classic combo spell now. It just destroys fools. No, they didn't nerf the damage. They just added that. So it's like, here, Shadow Fiend, have some more damage. We feel like your triple 300 damage nukes at level 7 isn't quite good enough. Thank you, Ice Frog. The hero is, of course, paper. That's why it's kind of balanced. But, man, oh man, doesn't seem like that's the case right now. Yeah, life drain, the steal for Rubik, not great. But you know what? They don't care because Sherlock's in the Roche Pit with the Treants tank, with Soothes to offer a little bit of right-click damage. That'll be an easy double life here for the Ursa. Mask of Madness, Phase Boots. Should be going for, I would imagine, a Blink next, although BKB in this game is also incredibly premium. He is just going to start smorking the Midas side. Run at you non-stop 24/7. And while the Ursa's being all distracting and such, the Shadow Fiend is going to be right-clicking from a range. Is this live or replay? Why do people ask that? Of course we're live, guys. We're always live. God, you guys are crazy. Actually, this game is live, but the chat's replay. Arms and Samurai. Well, they do have another Ravage. This Shadow Fiend now, with the Power Treads not even in strength, the Ogre Club towards the Dragon Lance. Still at 1200 HP, 11 armor. That's quite a bit. Oh, Samurai. He's going to get tagged by the burn. Again, that will do quite a bit of damage. Has the Ravage. Sherlock is going to ignore the Tier 2 tower. Just claw down the Tidehunter. Splinter Blast will get the kill. Hammer does land onto the Ursa, but again, Aegis, he doesn't care. They'll pause. Try to recalibrate. Uh-oh, what's going on up here? Looks like I chose the wrong fight. I think yeah, so he got hit with the Requiem, so he has no base damage. Shadow Fiend has 150 damage. He needs 3 shots. I think the Pugna has him here, because the Pugna only has to land 2 shots. No. How long does this last? How long does this last? Damage reduction for 5. So this is about 1 second. Yeah, Pugna has this in the bag. Is there a Wrath of Nature? No, there isn't, but there's no TP either. So Soothes overplayed his hand on top lane. He has nothing to save himself. He does have the Far Raise. Doesn't matter. Oh, it's going to be close, actually. Oh my god, he got him! Oh, holy crap! 10 armor. I forgot to account for the armor. I completely forgot to account for the armor. Okay, well. Numbers. How do they work? Gotu's going to get jumped. Does use his hammer. Hookshot's going to come in, but it hits onto the Sven. They bump back the Ursa's. Going to get embraced. Again, he does have the Aegis, so it doesn't even matter if he goes down. He does get 1 more clap off. And they will curse up the Clockwork, keep them in place so that Ursa can pop up once again and go to town. Another 2-man Earthshock. Gets both of them with it. And will get both kills. Maybe Dashka is going to get saved by the Ravage. Looks like the Ursa now has to tuck tail and run. Splinter Blast. Oh, we'll get the kill. What a snipe from the Winter Wyvern. Now the TP out from the Ursa. No big deal. Clean escape. Lil as well should be fine. They already used the Glimpse. There's another one here, but there's not in range. So the Shadow Fiend beats out the Pugna. They crush 2 heroes in using the Aegis, and stars are just rolling. This is what I was talking about when I mentioned the 60-40, 65-35 matchup. Stars are just, they're a solid team. They gave Sacred, definitely one of the top teams in SA, a run for their money. Here comes the Clockwork. Is that a taunt? It looks like he's kind of taunting in. The Ancient Prophet sprouts him out. Can make a couple of dupes here, but doesn't. I think that might have costed him. He has TP support, or just regular support coming in. Hookshot stolen. Okay, that was really odd how Jupiter didn't cast anything. If you cast Nature's Call, you obviously prevent Hookshot from getting a clean angle, or at least help to mitigate that. But more importantly, you get rid of those battery soul ticks. They're spread between a whole bunch of units now. It doesn't really make a huge difference in the grand scheme of things, but still, it's going to be It's going to be this Nature Prophet taking a little more damage than he should have. Again, shouldn't matter. Sherlock. Blink Dagger right around the corner. Winter Wyvern. Oh my god, level 9. It's level 7 on the Rubik. What do we have on the other end? 6 and 6. I mean, the Winter Wyvern has been incredibly active around the map. So much more than average for Winter Wyverns. God damn, she is packing some serious levels. That's really all Winter Wyvern needs. Like Glimmer Capes, Force Staves, whatever. It's all nice, but at the end of the day, all you need is those levels. And it might punish her. Winter Wyvern is going to be wrapped around by Dashka. There is a hook shot here, so you need some sick tree jukes. Maybe cursing up 2 of them will keep her safe so that she can TP out. Maybe? TP? Oh, it's gonna happen. Hook shot? No, we already used it. Okay, we're good, we're good. Everyone's safe. What a god. What a god, this Winter Wyvern. Easy escapes. Arms has not much. Pugna, as I said earlier, gets ahead or even gets back into the game by pushing down towers, and so far I guess we can call that a job not well done, because these towers are actually not only up but also still really healthy. And obviously Stars have been just laying in with this pressure. Hookshot on Rubik is not great for the Rubik as far as getting close to his opponents. You don't really want to be doing that, but as far as initiation, it is a huge element of surprise, especially with a Blink Dagger Ursa. Anyone who gets in range of this guy is dead. Like, you're just straight dead. We'll push down the bottom lane with this Ravage and the Static Storm. They have a lot of power here. Definitely enough to kill off the Ursa and the SF, but I mean, that door is going to be closing very quickly. He has the Hurricane Pike. Slight play around of the cogs of the kinetic field. Maybe with the Ravage decreased speed, it goes out slower. Maybe you can get yourself out of that, but it's really this item, the BKB, that's coming up next. Shadow Fiend, once he gets that, is going to be very, very difficult to kill. Sven, if he lands Stormhammer through BKB or without having to deal with BKB because of Element of Surprise, then yeah, you can definitely do it with God Strength on the bottom lane. This Tidehunter razed to death. Of course, Sherlock did all the work. This Ursa is hitting some serious damage right now. They take down the top tier 2. Jupiter is still going to be able to split push that out. In the meantime, Lil will be buying some space over in mid. He has a curse, and he will get Static Storm, so there will be no curse, but he does heal himself, buy himself quite a bit of time where the God Strength Sven is not hitting him, as the curse is going to fly down to the low ground. No way! No way! Is he really going to survive this? Goku is going to get one more hit, double hit actually with the Echo Saber, will get the kill, but into 2 raises, just 1. God Strength picked up by the Rubik, with the Treants blocking Goku's escape. They will take down the Sven. At the same time, Sherlock picks off the Disruptor elsewhere. God Strength on Rubik. Plus 82. Wow. That's actually like a surprising amount of damage, especially since I can't see the God Strength, and you guys, I see like absolutely no difference. No difference whatsoever. So yeah, it's just extra damage from the background that you may not expect. Tower now gonna fall. Shadow Fiends pushing sieging damage is as high as ever. Of course, Jupiter has his goon army. That's the penultimate tier 2 now down as Soothe is pushing forward for that BKB. Midas still with all these big teamfight ultimates, but no chance to actually use it. Rough spot to be in. Stars are just overloading this momentum. They are just constantly rolling forward. Now, Midas's high ground defense is pretty substantial. Like, you're looking at this initiation style where they're able to just crash in really hard, get these kills instantaneously, again, without having to deal with an Aegis or a BKB or anything like that. It is very possible to see them take a fight. With the smoke in, they will be moving into a pretty good spot here. Armed Smoke will be revealed. Sherlock as well in the corner is spotted. The ward is down. Hookshot in onto the Ursa. They gotta make sure not to pump up or else this will happen. They curse up 4 heroes and the Pugna is just getting demolished. In the meantime, the Clockwork gets clawed down by the Ursa. And now Goku, with the cover of Ravage, will be able to kill off that Ursa. They do Static Storm 2 on the background, but the Ravage is stolen by Ned. Hits onto 2, including the Tidehunter and some Karmic Justice. Samurai is going to, well, be ignored by Soothe as he blinks really far in to Requiem and kill off the Pugna. Jupiter sprouts up Goku, and now with the right clicks from the Shadow Fiend, they'll right click him down. Shadow Fiend and Sven, yeah, will go down. Jupiter's going to blink forward with the TP. Sprout up RZS. One more raise for the road, and Jupiter will help seal the deal, making it a 5-for-1 exchange. Clumping up is bad. You don't want to do that. You don't want to walk into that Winter's Curse. Pugna sure as hell does not want to be on the receiving end of the curse. At least his Sven ally was not God Strength, but man, that would have been a clean initiation if not for that curse. Again, very impressed with this Winter Wyvern's play in this game and in the previous sets. We've seen Lil do some pretty good work on every single hero he's been on. Of course, the Ursa having a pretty much silver platter clockwork there served up to him is pretty easy to get the kill. Nature's Prophet, no Force Staff. Sprouts Dashka. Maybe get some help here as he is going to get Force Staffed out by the Shadow Fiend. Gets up to the high ground. There's Wrath of Nature bouncing through. RZS is already dead, and the Wrath of Nature comes back in for the clockwork. Oh, this is just looking like a feeding frenzy. Man, is this actually going to be like the third 20-minute game in a row? That'll be kind of just stupid. Like, some days with Dota, we go 6 games and 2 best-of-3s. Others, we just have slaughters, and there's no other way of putting it. Here comes the Goon Squad. Treants are back up online. There's another curse here. Shadow Fiend is going to take a hammer to the face. Pretty sure he doesn't give a damn. Ursa going to jump forward, and with the jump forward raise from Suds, seal the deal onto Samurai. They trapped arms in the Sprout, take him down as well. BKB up on the Nature's Prophet. Just an iron wall here that the Midas Club cannot get through. Gochu doesn't have a Blink Dagger. His God Strength is just burned in time right now. He can't even get close. Oh, they do land a Static Storm, which will stall him for a second, but the curse goes off to the background. Not going to help them versus them. But oh, the Stolen Hammer from Nedbone is going to keep Jupiter alive, including the Embrace, as Sherlock does jump in to kill off a Clockwork. That's going to be a forced buyback, and here comes the Blink back for him onto everyone. Oh, this game is so over. Sue's just cleaning up. He is probably going to die here. Stick charges, hammer. He's still alive. He's still alive. Now that's round to go to. They team wiped them twice without losing a single hero. Are you bullshitting me right now? Holy crap. Sooth is buying salves in the enemy base. This game is over, man. Like, how do you come back from that? How do you mentally come back from that? Their entire team buys back 3 heroes, and Stars lose 0. They don't lose a single thing. What the hell? Oh my god. Mercy rule, please. Oh my god, Ned's still life drain. What a player, Nedbone and Lil. This supporting crew is so impressive. Meantime, the supporting crew on the Midas Club side is just getting their asses handed to them. Dashka is smoked up, has a hook shot at the ready, but he's level 7. If he hook shots in, maybe he cheeses out a kill on Nedbone, but he will definitely die. Speaking of definitely dying, jump forward from the Ursa and the Shadow Fiend. They force out the Ravage. Lulu hit Sherlock pretty hard, but he's going to hit Sven even harder. And now Samurai as well. You cannot escape the bear. GG is called as Dashka sprouted. Oh, and another Ravage steal. Blech. I'm going to be sick, guys. This game was so disgusting. I may have caught something. Oh my god. That's 2 Ravage steals. The perfect stun steals every single time from Nedbone. Ursa and Shadow Fiend just dancing around the Midas Club side like no big deal. Now, in the last game, we saw a team just easily outclass the other in the last match. In this game, I don't think it's that clear. Obviously, Midas Club just get demolished. But I don't think it's because of, like, bad play. I think it's because Stars just styled on them. Like, Stars went Super Saiyan. What's a high level of Super Saiyan nowadays? I don't even freaking know. Super Saiyan, like, 12. And just destroyed them. I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, at a certain point, once you get those Blink Daggers, they're just going ham. And Midas Club couldn't, for the life of them, save their allies. They don't have the ultimates lining up perfectly. That's going to be game 1 in the books. Stars looking to end this a little bit early. Hey, this game actually started 30 minutes early and ended when we were supposed to start the game. How awesome is that? All planned, all pre-recorded. Guys, I'm Mike Loris, and I'll be back for the second game. Don't miss it. Stars versus Midas Club will continue soon.